Robert from Sunshine Bird, and today we're going to start our adventure off at Lake Apopka Wildlife Drive. To begin, we're going to have a big day. A big day is when you count how many birds you see in a day, and then you try to beat your record. Last year we got 70 birds in a day. Do you think we'll beat it? We hope that the fog will burn up because that can affect our count. We made it to Lake Apopka. There's still a lot of fog. We're gonna see what we can see. Let's go. Our first bird of the year was a yellow rump warbler, pretty common here in Florida. The first picture of the little blue heron is the adult. The juveniles are white. The swamp sparrow is a winter resident here in Florida. With its distinctive call, it is normally found in brushy areas. Common yellow throat, whose folk name is black-masked ground warbler, frequently stay low to the ground, unlike other warblers. To identify, look for the golden slippers. Did you know common gallinus are more closely related to cranes and rails than to ducks? Ever seen a bald cardinal? That can be caused by feather mites. Phoebes build nests out of mud and moss under protective ledges. Their call sounds like their name. Phoebe! Did you know mourning doves don't have to tilt their heads back to swallow? The ash-throated flycatcher was a lifer bird for me. This is a rare bird for the Florida Gulf Coast. Listen and you can hear their call, which can be heard year-round. It is slightly smaller than the great-crested flycatcher, with paler yellow underneath. We saw the glossy ibex fly over while we looked at the flycatcher and saw them throughout the day as well. These fast little birds are hard to photograph. We saw this egret eating a small snake. We watched it for a few minutes before moving on. They are native to Africa. The first cattle egrets came to North America in the 1950s and expanded across the continent. We briefly saw this male painted bunting. Did you know that many movies use the call of the red-shouldered hawk for bald eagles? We saw about 8 red-shouldered hawks on the way through the preserve. This is a female red-winged blackbird. Common in many open habitats, their colors vary geographically, with darker birds in the north and lighter birds in the south. This bird's favorite food is pie. The nickname for this bird is snakebird. Another name for the osprey is fishhawk. Here you can see it eating its lunch. Did you know coots often steal food from ducks? They are bully birds. Lake Apopka has a lot of ponds, so like the one back here. So you have to examine every bird.
You can only see the crests in breeding season. The northern harrier is often seen flying low over marshes. It is easy to identify because of its white rump patch. It hunts by sight and sound. Times its migration to avoid cold weather. The American widgeon is another bird known to steal food, including from Canadian geese. They sound like a squeaky toy.
A lot of people say they don't see anything. It's really important to get out of your car to see stuff. Come on, let's go down the trail.
It is very unusual to see a bittern out in the open. This is the second least bittern I've ever seen. We watched this bittern for a while it was hunting. Green herons sometimes use bait to lure in fish.
Here's a black-crowned night heron.
We watched this palm warbler hop in and out of this car. We saw this cute little wren hopping around in the bushes. The ringneck duck has a brown ring around its neck, which is only visible when you are close to the bird. We saw hundreds of these ducks today, including those here feeding. In the summer, foresters' terns have a black cap, but in the winter, they only have a black patch by their eye. They are slightly larger than a common tern and have an orange bill, not a red one. I love the shiny colors of this bird. These are easy to distinguish by their gigantic bill.
There's a great blue heron behind me. And we also saw some coots.
Common all over Florida.
A lot of people come to Lake Apopka for the gators, like the one behind me.
Hello there.
Look, Dick Sissel. This is why you have to get out of the car.
This is a rarity for our area. It is out of range anywhere east of Alabama. It looks like a miniature eastern or western meadowlark. This kingfisher is hovering over water fishing. It has a very distinctive profile. Hard to see in the video, but these little black specks are tree swallows. Conservation efforts save this bird. Look for straight tail feathers to identify. Subspecies of purple swamp hens, now established in Florida since the 90s, all red shield on head. The gadwall's white wing patch can be seen from a distance. We saw these from a quarter-mile off. We heard these before we saw them. We were able to get a photo as they flew by. Common in Florida yards. The kestrel is the smallest falcon. Sandhill crane's population swell in Florida during the winter as migrating birds arrive from the Midwest. Best distinguished by sound.
We just finished Lake Apopka. We saw over 40 species. I'll have my total count at the end of the video. Depending on time, we may go somewhere else.
We saw these turkeys while we were driving down the road. We stopped for gas on the way home and saw a bunch of house sparrows and a tiny dot of a killdeer far off in a field, which was our 50th bird. Our last bird of the day was perched on a wire outside of our house. Our grand total was 51 species, which means I have 200 species left to meet my goal. This is a great start to the year.